What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are doing a 3-for-1 video today. We're going to talk about Alien Base. We're also going to talk about, what is the other one? TrebleSwap for David iPhone. We're also going to talk about auction for King Will Gaming. Shout out to the boys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, you guys. Okay, 3-for-1 in this video here. Alien Base sitting here at about 5.5 cents. It's a bit disappointing to see it. You know, I thought it had so much promise. I remember whenever we first started talking about it or put this thing on notice. Maybe somebody gave me this coin. I forget how I heard about it. I think somebody did give it to me. I can't remember. They didn't give it to me. They gave me the information about this coin, and we saw this nice pump, but it's just been disappointing since then. But having a lot of coins, right? There's a new life coming into the markets right now. And I do think that right now, looking at ALB, there is this setup for a nice W pattern here, right? Where if and when you get above that nipple, that focal point right there, you will break out in spectacular fashion. I like ALB. I like Alien Base. I think that it's an interesting project, but does it have the oomph? Does it have the get up and go? Does it have the momentum behind it to drive this thing higher? I mean, you got a $10 million market cap with $23,000 in volume. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go to zero, but come on, man. You got to have a little bit more than that in you if you want to see some life, right? We definitely need some more volume coming in. Being boring, being at the lows and not having volume is not necessarily a bad thing. Typically, you actually, I mean, like you kind of did the same thing over here, right? You had this W shape. You ended out with a lot of like low volume, and then the volume started to come back in, and you moved up higher. You had low volume here, and then you started to move up higher. So you typically end bull runs with high volume, you end bear markets with low volume, but not always. Not always is that the case. So you've definitely been in a bear market, man, since November 2024. I think you're set up, you're primed for some kind of recovery. And if we were to recover, so with a W pattern, what you see is that this move, the last move to complete the W shape, always, not always, I shouldn't say that, if it is to be successful, a successful W will take you above this price. So if we're expecting that, and that's what I'm going with right now, that's the assumed price, we should see something on the lines of something that's more than like a 10x, probably even an 11x move by the time this thing pumps. I mean, if we look at this here, we're on a weekly basis. From this exact same price that we're at now, right back here, we were 1 week later, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and we had an 8.7x. You know what I mean? So we could definitely see that amount of growth, and we've seen crazy growth of this thing in a very short amount of time before. The market cap is $10 million. It's a very low market cap. You could see, I mean, a 10x from here. What did I just do? I didn't mean to do that. A 10x from here would give you a $100 million market cap. You could see this thing do a $1 billion market cap or more. Absolutely, this thing is 100x possible, but does it get there is the question, right? Does Base see use case? Does that onboard more people to look for projects that are being built on Base? Alien Base is promising. I've read the white paper. It's been a second. I'm not all familiar with the fundamentals, but I remember whenever I read about it, it is interesting. It is very interesting, actually. And actually, somebody, shout out to Fernando Zepeda. Fernando Zepeda. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he made a comment also that said, "Great tokenomics, innovative devs, and Base as an emerging ecosystem is a solid bet. Looking forward to their futures and derivatives." Yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. And these dexes are getting more sophisticated, and having a dex that's on Base, I think, is good, right? There's dexes all over the place, but a dex on Base is pretty interesting. And if it's seamless, if it's operable, if it's capable of handling high liquidity limits and throughput and stuff like that, if it's able to do this, then sure, I think that it's a good project. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying, man. I'm trying to talk here. I'm getting away from the TA. I'm essentially brain dead if I don't talk about anything that's TA, you guys. TA is like the only thing that I know. Okay, I'm like SpongeBob with that learning how to do fine dining and breathing, right? I've forgotten everything else. Don't even ask me what my name is, okay? If we're looking at this from a low to a high, 382, 236 back down to the 382. I don't like that look in itself, but you're still holding the 382, and that's good. You just got to get above here. Okay, so let's assume you do that. Let's look at this with some. Do we have an RSI? No, let me put it up there. Relative strength index. Okay. Oh nope, we don't need the vigor index. I mean, sure, maybe it's relative. I've just never used that before. Okay. Looking at it here, bouncing off the 40. I don't mind that on the weekly time frame. Looking at the daily time frame here, it looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. I should say it looks bad, but you're shaping up to look good right now. If I'm being honest, I think that you are. If you were to go lower, I think you would have done it already. So yes, I think that you will recover from here. This actually looks accumulative right here. It really does. You had a little bit of volume come in and you still didn't see lower lows. You actually, that's not a bad look at all. Let's look at this from a high to a low, relatively speaking. You got above the 236. I would at least expect you get above the 382 from here before going lower. If you do go lower, that's bad. You get below this low, understand that's bad. Everything good that we've talked about is out the window. You get above the 382, which is at about 7.3 cents. You should be moving up higher. Okay, you should be moving up higher right then and there. And then, of course, getting above this price here at 18 cents, that should take you on a path, a war path, right up to your all-time high area. Okay, that's ALB. Now we're going to talk about, I think, what is it? Is it TrebleSwap? TrebleSwap. Treble. All these dexes, man. Treble. I'm spelling it the way that you have it here, okay? And I've got nothing. Let's look here. Maybe it's here. TrebleSwap. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Nothing. Okay, so unfortunately, David iPhone, I tried. But I don't know. Let's try it one more way. Okay, I'm not going to give up that easy. Third time's the charm, right? TrebleSwap. Because you wrote it, I'm writing it down the exact way that you have it written here. Written here. Let's see. Come on now. Nothing. Treble. Oh, it is treble. Okay, so this is it. This is the one. Okay, cool. So it is TrebleSwap. It's better you guys to just give me the coin. Don't give me what the project's called, because that exact issue will happen, right? 10 months wrapped ether. No, we want this one. Is this another Dex on bass? TrebleSwap for music? I don't know. For not the bass, but for the treble. Treble, because it's bass. It's I get it. That's clever. Hey. Because bass is the bass. This is the treble. I get it. That's clever. That's funny. These guys must like music. Who doesn't like music though, right? Yeah, I don't know enough about this thing. There's not a lot going for it. Low volume, low market cap. It could do well, but these dexes, you guys, they're a dime a dozen. Just because it exists doesn't mean that it will do well. It looks like it's a dead project to me as far as the price action goes. It could come back. I mean, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You're definitely at a good price to buy if you're looking to buy low, right? I don't know. That was a lot of volume that came back here, and you persisted lower. You didn't go to new lows though. I mean, you could return to riches and glory. I'm not holding out. I'm not holding my breath over this. I don't think I can do TA on this. Let me give you a couple of examples here real quick, okay? A couple of targets to keep in mind. High to low here, okay? So first off, if you go below 22.8 cents, a little bit below is okay, but if you like break through it, if you go to, let's say, 20 cents or lower, this thing's dead. Okay, it's done. If the rest of the market moves up and you're not moving up with it, this thing's dead. It's done. If you can get above this price here at about 61 cents, I wouldn't be surprised if we went all the way up to 77 cents, $1, and potentially even above there. You might start to see life come back. But until then, it's not really worth talking about. Until you get above 66, let's say 61 cents, until you get above there, it's not worth talking about, okay? But if you know something that I don't, maybe it is. Maybe there's some insider information, some fundamental things that I'm unaware of that could be good for this thing. I wouldn't say it's dead in the water yet, but this chart does not interest me. I'll just leave it at that, right? It could. It's possible. But I'm not saying that it's going here. I'm not saying that it's going here. I'm saying I don't know. Neither way would surprise me. But 61 cents, get above there, then we could talk about higher prices, okay? Now, to finish this off with auction. Moving up a little bit, you're at $11.11. You moved down, huh? You moved down a lot, down to, $7.80. Moving up a little bit here. Auction is just in this vibrant downtrend. It's not really so vibrant. It's very volatile. A little bit of life here, kind of like a blemish on both sides, right? You had a blemish to the downside, a blemish to the upside, but really you've just been in this kind of channel coming down all the way dating back to like November of 2024, or 2023, right? You've been in this channel. Crypto's getting a little bit of a leg up. Looks like auction's getting some life in it too. Let's just see real quick. What have you done? Right? Over the past, like, I guess, like week now. 36%. That's not bad. That's not bad, yeah. You know, it depends. It depends on what you do over the coming days, that's for sure. You look productive. You actually look very productive. What's auction doing here? Because I know that the volume can lie to us on Coinbase. Oh damn! You're getting that added volume again. You're back to your antics auction. I don't know, man. I mean, that looks pretty consistent. That's some consistent growth you're getting there. You know, if we reminisce with the bullish times that we had here, even before then, let's go back. Look at both these times, right? You got overbought. You moved up rather meticulously, rather methodically, just continuously like this, and then you consolidated for about a week, and then you ran, right? And then you got overbought again. Here you got overbought. You ran up rather meticulously, continuously, overbought, came down for about a week, a little bit more than that. Then you ran real hard. Okay. Both times, I know this is less significant seeming, but the aspect remains the same. The second attempt up into the overbought zone was larger than the first attempt, both times. Does that make sense? Here's your first attempt into the RSI overbought zone. You'll probably consolidate for about a week. And then the next move will probably take you up a lot. How much more? I don't know. You know, relatively speaking, this one was, compared to this, it was a lot bigger. You know, compared to this, it might be a little bit smaller. But I would expect a move that takes you above $15 at least, right? Something back around this area. Maybe consolidate by the end of the month, and then in August we start to really pump. I don't know. Unfortunately, auction's been a bit of a dud for us since this big drop, which we expected to happen, right? It dropped lower than I expected to happen. There was no vibrance that came back to it afterwards. I like the idea of auction. I like the project idea. I just don't know if it's gonna gain traction. If anyone's gonna buy the bid on this one, so to speak, and maybe they will. I think it's at a good level to buy. I think it's at a good price to buy if you want to make a speculative call. And if auction does what I think it's capable of doing, I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't see hundreds of dollars in price, if not even $1,000 or more in price. I mean, this thing's market cap is pretty low, if I remember correctly. Let's look auction. Yeah, 66 million. That's not a lot. I mean, you could see 100x or more with this thing, absolutely. And 100x from here, that would put you at $1,100 all the way up here. And that's a 2618 is right there. I mean, you could see it. It could happen. Thousands of dollars, $1,000 could happen by the end of the cycle. But again, kind of like Axelar, or not Axelar, I'm sorry, kind of like Alien Base, we need to see some life. Right? It's not really appropriate to talk about higher prices until we see some life. So I would say until we're at about this price here, until we're above $69, $70, look at that. That price literally went up to $67.60. Until we get to that price or higher, I don't know if it's appropriate to consider targets that are higher. Right? We got to see what we do here. I do think that you're going to move up into August. I definitely believe that you will move up into August, but how high? Are you going to stop at 25 bucks? That's not good. Are you going to stop at 40 bucks? It's not really that good either. I mean, it's about average with the average coin if you move up to 40 bucks, in all honesty. 40 to like 35 bucks would be about average. So I guess that's fine. If you do 35, if you get up here to like 32 to 40 bucks, I'll give it to you. That's fine. Okay, that's acceptable. But anything less, no. Anything more, yes. And at that point, if we see more, we could very much consider targets that are worth multiple hundreds of dollars, $570, $1,000, $3,000, any and all those targets are possible. But until then, let's just keep a level head, be patient. I do think you're getting ready to move up, but that's mainly because of the rest of the market. You need to show your true colors. Are you going to move up because the rest of the market's moving up? Or are you going to move up along with the rest of the market and outperform? Because if you do outperform, you will likely continue to outperform as the cycle continues. And you did outperform here. You did have a moment of outperformance, but this was all manipulated. You might be being manipulated now, but that's okay. If it's pumping the price, it's good manipulation, right? So I don't really have anything else that I want to say, guys. I think I've said everything I need to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.